Eureka! The cry rang out from Sutter's Mill, and a gold rush was born. The year was 1849, and thousands rushed to the gold fields of California in search of the precious yellow metal. The promise of instant wealth uprooted the adventurers from their homes and hurled them headlong into an unknown terrain and an uncertain future. Entire cities arose based on the new gold economy, and the nation would never be the same. Since the first time an ornamental object was pounded out of a shiny lump, gold has been one of man's most valued and sought-after treasures. The gold rush of 1849 is probably the best-known example of mass exodus, started by the mere promise of this yellow mineral. It peaked in 1856, when over 2.5 million ounces were recovered from the gold fields in a single year. Prospectors and treasure hunters symbolize the dream we all share, the hope of instant riches, instant wealth derived from our own efforts. This dream is still alive today.
I do a little weekend prospecting to get out of the city, back to nature, and it makes me feel like a pioneer.
Treasure hunting has made me extremely wealthy.
What else could I tell you? This is the life.
It's for the fun of it. That's why we're doing it.
Of course, not everyone will have the same spectacular success as Mel Fisher, who discovered the fabulous wreck of the Etosha and its $4 billion treasure. Mel has his own opinions about novice treasure hunters.
Well, I think it's great. Although it's not easy, I gotta let you know that. It's very hard to find gold and treasure, and a lot of times you dig an empty hole, you know. But it is very rewarding when you do hit it, and I'm not discouraging you from doing it, because I think it's great. I've enjoyed it, and I know you will too.
Who is prospecting? All kinds of people from all walks of life. They've all discovered the pleasures and profits of searching for gold. Pat Keene comes from a family of treasure hunters.
I like to see the smiles on people's face when they find or recover some gold. One of the nice things about coming out here, you can be young or old, and all different types of people come out here just to enjoy the outdoors and have a shot at panning gold and maybe finding something. You generally always find something if you know what to look for. You don't really need much. All you really need is a gold pan. And that's probably one of the basic tools of prospecting. And basically what you do is you go around to different locations and you're sampling. Take a little material from here, take a little material from there, and also working along the edge of the stream and pulling up little tiny roots from small plants and washing out the roots and washing the clay out and potentially finding some gold. And when you start to find it, then you work a little harder.
Many modern treasure hunting methods are basically only refinements and high-tech twist on old techniques. Pat's prospecting school in the mountains of California teaches the tried and true methods.
Hi, my name is Pat. We're going to do a little prospecting today. We're going to be working with a gold pan, sluice box, and some other types of equipment. Basically, all of this equipment does is it concentrates your material. So when you have just your concentrates left, which are your heavier metals and minerals like black sand and the gold, well, then you meticulously pan it out and pick out your gold little particles and put it in your sample vial. Now we're going to do a little panning demonstration here. Now I've already tested the area, and the majority of the gold is coming out of the hillside. So once you get your material in your pan, you make sure it's good and saturated. Shaking the material. Having your heavies fall and all your light material surface, and just wash that light stuff off. Okay. And at this point, you see where all the material's almost solid black. Now that's your iron sand, and that sand's also magnetic. So later on, when you take it home and you want to finish processing it, you can use a magnet. But you want to make sure the material's completely wet or completely dry. so the material isn't moist and sticky.
Eager to be rich, the students hit the water with their own pans and try their luck.
My husband wanted to do this all of his life, and it's fun watching his face as he's here panning for gold, hoping that he's going to strike it rich. We're pulling for him.
I enjoy doing this. I've never done it before. I'm from Connecticut. I've always wanted to pan for gold, and now I'm doing it.
Well, I like to be out in the water and be out just seeing nature, and have a chance maybe I'll pick up a few pieces of gold.
Consultant to Treasure Magazine and professional treasure hunter, Roy Roush is going to give us a few tips on gold panning.
The biggest mistake that most people make in gold panning is that it takes them too long to clear the gold pan. A lot of people take maybe 30 minutes to begin with. But one way to gain confidence in your ability is to pan for BBs, or pieces of lead. By starting with this, you can see how fast you can pan and keep increasing your speed until you can probably empty a pan in maybe 20 seconds or 30 seconds at most.
Although he wasn't fast, this student was effective at finding gold.
I found a little bit, not much. It's hard work, but it's worth it.
Steve Morgan has devoted his life to the hunt for treasure.
In high school, I really got interested into reading the books about adventure, about the old-timers in the business, and started reading everything that the library had concerning treasure hunting and the search for lost galleons.
8 years and numerous expeditions later, Steve and a group of friends formed a company called the Galleon Hunters.
To a treasure hunter, most anything that you find from a shipwreck helps tell the story of that wreck, but also helps you identify it as a piece of the puzzle. You take like this glass, which is almost like a porthole. So what it was flush mounted in the deck of a ship, and people walked on it, but it allowed light to penetrate through and have light down below. Now, this came off of a ship approximately in the 1750s. You take cannonballs, you've got cannonballs that look like the standard round ball that you normally picture as a cannonball, all the way to a cannonball that they call a tumbler. These were shot out of cannons, and the whole idea of them was to come out of the cannons and start to spin. And they would hit into ship rigging or into as anti-personnel and ricochet down the deck. There are many, many different types of items that come from the different shipwrecks. All these things are treasure to the treasure hunter.
Outside an abandoned mining camp, Roy Roush shows a high school journalist how to look for treasure with a metal detector.
Well, this is a very typical looking old miner's cabin. It dates back to around the turn of the century, as you can tell by looking at it. Now, we'd look for the area where there was the heaviest concentration of traffic. I would say in this case, it would be from the end of the porch along this walkway out here in front to where they would park their wagon or their horse or maybe their early day automobile. So let's set up a pattern. Let's go over here to the edge of the porch. Let's start working our way along here to the driveway out here. So come on over here, I'll show you. All right, now let's start here at the edge of the porch and let's follow this walkway around to the driveway. All right, now notice I'll swing the detector back and forth from side to side, and I keep the detector about 2 inches above the ground. Now this is computerized, so I'm not paying attention to some of those little noises because those are not good signals. When I do get a good signal, I can tell the difference between that sound and the other sounds. Besides, it's got a little readout on it that gives me a signal when I hit over a certain, what's this? Now look, now there's a good signal. See, it says it's a penny and it says it's about 2 inches deep. Well, let's dig it up, let's see if it really is, okay?
Coming up, we'll see exactly what Roy and his young protege uncover.